Okay, this one is just taking the derivative of a rational function here. So this is going to be the quotient rule because we have a function on the top and the bottom of a fraction. So two things you could remember. When taking something like this, u over v, to find y prime, we would do u prime v minus u v prime all over v squared. That is our formula. Another way to do this is just annotate u and v and set up our chart off to the side. So off to the side we would have u and v, so we'd have x plus 1 and x squared minus 3. And then we would actually take the derivative of each one of those. So the derivative of 1x is just 1, the derivative of 1 is 0. Derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of negative 3 is 0. So we have our derivatives now, and then we go in the following order. Remember, we go from here to here, then here to here, remembering to include a minus sign in between and a v squared on the bottom. So let's see. We got to go from u prime to v. So that's going to be 1 times x squared minus 3. We have to include the minus. And then we're going from u to v prime in this order here. So I can write that as x plus 1 and then 2x. And then remember, we have to have v squared on the bottom. So where that v term is, throw that on the bottom, put it in parentheses, and put a square around it. So although this would be our answer, we would notice that none of these are the multiple choice items. That's because we have some simplifying to do on the top. So let's distribute that 1 on the top and just get x squared minus 3. And then here, I've got to do two things. I've got to distribute this negative, and I have to distribute this 2. We'll start with that 2. So I'll include minus, and then I'm going to keep that in parentheses. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. I'm going to leave the bottom untouched so far. And now I can distribute that negative 1. And remember that that negative has to distribute to both of those. So this becomes x squared minus 3 minus 2x squared minus 2x all over x squared minus 3 squared. So now we can actually simplify the top with some like terms. The only like terms are here and here. And a positive x squared and a negative 2x squared, remember that that has a coefficient of 1, is going to give you a negative x squared. And then I can just write these in either order, but typically in standard form we kind of go in descending exponents. Leave the bottom untouched still. This cannot be factored down. It can be factored down, but it cannot be factored down into like an x squared minus 3. This is really our final answer. And you should see that in our multiple choice. Reflecting such, I believe that was the last choice.